true, baby. Listen up. Ed leans back in his John Deere cap. Says I don't chase clicks, I just chase facts. Got a Bible by the mic, small town on his back. Reads every line before he hits that track. Ronnie in the booth with a notepad full. Cross on his chain, hard, humble but full. We ain't here to judge, just talk what's real. Taste every word before we serve that meal. Red, white, and true. Stand on what we do. Gotta taste your words before you say them. Cause the truth cuts clean when you lay it. Red, white, and true. We pray on what we choose. If you don't line up with his view, we don't spread it. Red, white, and true. Rolling that feed, everybody want flame. Pointing at a headline, never read a whole page. It says slow down, son, check that source. Every tongue got power. Pick your course. Ronnie takes a breath, says a quiet prayer. Lord, guard my mouth, let me keep it fair. We talk faith, talk flash, talk the hard news too. But we weigh each word like it's aimed at you. Hey, hey, red, white, and true. Stand on what we do. Gotta taste your word before you say them. Cause the truth cuts clean when you lay it. Red, white, and true. We pray on what we choose. If it don't line up with his view, we don't spread it. Red, white, and true. We ain't perfect, just forgive it. Trying to walk it out, not just talk opinion. You can disagree, pull up a seat, that's fine. But we keep it in grace when we draw that line. Hey, 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 red, white, and true. Stand on what we do. Gotta taste your words before you say them. Cause the truth cuts clean when you lay it. Red, white, and true. We pray on what we choose. If it don't line up with his view, we don't spread it. Red, white, and true.
If people really want to know what's going on, listen to Ed and Ronnie Tuesdays on Red, White, and True, streaming on Facebook. I stay updated by watching Ed and Ronnie.
Hey there, yeah, I'm talking to you. Name's Clyde. I'm a Cardinal, obviously, but here's the thing. I am absolutely hooked on Ed and Ronnie's live streams. Can't help it. Every Tuesday, I plop down in this nest, seeds on standby, and tune in. They bring the truth like a tailwind.
Woohoo! Almost there! Phew, made it! Now for some TV. All right, Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. This is gonna be great!
Wake up, America! The rooster's been crowing and the sun is already high. It's time to open them ears and open that heart. Start listening to Ed and Ronnie, two fellas with a whole wagon load of sense, and watch their streams.
Okay, how about now? Is that working? So welcome to Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. Ed flying solo tonight, and so Amy's given me the okay. We must have audio now, and so it's good to be with you. Got a lot of things to cover. We'll go as long as we've got information, or as short as it needs to be. We've got several things on the agenda, and I say we be me, and Amy is in the background. Say hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, you know, it's a good time to. What do you think about this? Amy retires in 23 days or something like that, 13, 12 and a wake up work days. Um, what do you think about Amy and I starting back up prayer and share? Uh, I think that sounds like a good idea, don't you? We never did officially put it to rest. We just kind of put it on hiatus. And I think that that is a good idea that we do that maybe once a week. Uh, we'll work it out and throw it in the comments if you think that that is a good idea. Amy, don't put no in the comment. Well, with Ronnie not being here, maybe Amy will add some commentary from a distance. We'll always appreciate what she has to say, and uh, just looking to put on a good program tonight. I'm going to pray. Usually pray beforehand, but since it was by myself. Well, not totally by myself, but no Ronnie to pray with me. Let's go ahead and pray now. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for letting us get some things done around the house here. Thank you for the ability to bring Red, White, and True to others. Help me to say and do the right thing tonight. Bless our country. Bless our troops. Bless those who protect and serve. And Father, just help this to be a good time. In Jesus' name, amen. Let me kind of go down the list a little bit here of what's on the schedule. Uh, scroll. Going to talk about the Iran ceasefire, some judicial rulings. Some have gone for the administration, some has gone against the administration. The economy and what that's looking like right now. Freedom 250. There's a little controversy going on there, and I think I will actually uh, start with with well, let me just go in the order that I planned. I was going to switch things around, but I had a plan for a reason, and I will go with that plan. So, first on the list, obviously, is Iran and what is going on there. Um, Boy, I got a lot of. There's where I want to be. Uh, 4 questions that I want to ask up front. Can peace be secured through strength? Who governs America? The elected president or the courts? Is the economy continuing to strengthen, or is that just a facade? Can America celebrate its 250th birthday without everything becoming political? Uh, we're watching major developments overseas, major battles in the courtroom, continued economic momentum, and a growing controversy. President Trump is reviewing a 60-day ceasefire proposal that is out there. It's interesting that timing, I don't know how to really, timing is everything, of course, but it always sounds like something is going to happen quickly, and then it doesn't happen quickly. The president went to the Situation Room, had originally planned to go to Camp David, and weather concerns there made things a little different than what they had planned. So they met in the Situation Room, and it seemed like the president was going to go down there, get information, and then make a decision on this 60-day peace, or not peace proposal, but a ceasefire. And it was interesting. Earlier today, I read where one pundit said that that decision is coming soon, maybe within the next 2 hours. That was about 4 hours ago. So it's kind of, well, it's kind of military-ish. Hurry up and wait. That is kind of what military people. Mary hears fiddle music. I'm not sure why there would be any fiddle music. Do you hear any?
She may need to come out of the woods. She's a little deep in the woods.
Way in the woods. Is it, dueling banjos or anything like that? I hope not. Oh. They are playing him like a fiddle.
Oh.
I guess we were slow on that
We
one.
must have been.
Thanks, Mary, for explaining to us what we needed there. That is quite possible. It's quite possible that he wants to be in control, and he doesn't want other people announcing things before he makes the announcement. And so it's hard to tell. It really is. It's hard to tell. Some of the things that is going on there, they obviously continue to negotiate the nuclear issue. The sanctions that have been in place for quite some time, are those going to go away? Are those going to stay? Will things happen immediately, or will they happen after the Iranians prove or don't prove that they can follow what they sign? Obviously, global energy markets are watching, and we'll talk about that a little more when we talk economy. And of course, Israel is monitoring the developments closely. That is intriguing to me on what will happen with Israel. What if we don't have everything in the agreement that Israel wants? Is Israel going to go out on their own? Are they going to follow us? Are they going to put up a resistance to a deal? That'll be interesting in the days and weeks to come. Let's look at supporters argue that the ceasefire avoids broader war, protects global energy markets, creates leverage for future negotiations, and maintains regional stability. But critics say Iran has a history of violating agreements. Temporary deals may delay rather than solve problems. Economic relief could strengthen the regime, and verification remains a major concern. And I would agree with, well, I agree with most points from both sides, but especially agree with what is listed as the critics here. Can Israel be, or not Israel, but Iran? Can Iran be trusted? No, absolutely not. They can't be trusted. It goes back to what Reagan used to say about verification. Somebody could help me with the something and verify that Reagan was famous for saying. Does peace through strength sometimes require negotiation? I have a difficult time with the fact that we are negotiating with terrorists. That is, it is a country. but that country is the biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. Uh, what should America demand before offering sanction relief? These are all good questions. And while the White House negotiates overseas, there's another battle raging at home, and it's increasingly being fought in the American courtrooms. This week reinforced that in several different things. First case, the anti-weaponization fund was blocked. A federal judge temporarily halted implementation of the administration's proposed anti-weaponization compensation fund. Well, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? Should citizens receive compensation when government agencies abuse their authority? And can the executive branch establish such a program without congressional approval? Case number 2, IRS settlement under review. A separate a separate judge ordered review of the broader IRS settlement that created the compensation fund that we were just talking about. Courts are now examining whether proper procedures were followed and whether judicial oversight was sufficient. Trust but verify. There you go. Thank you, dear. There you go. Trust and verify. I should have known that off the top of my head since it was the Gipper. Supreme Court handed the administration a significant legal victory involving restrictions on speech by federal immigration judges. They sided with the administration. How much authority should presidents have over executive branch employees? And I think we see the courts are and have been during this term siding with the administration on. It seems to make sense to me that the administration is the executive branch, and thus the administration should be able to have the power to hire, fire, and do what companies do what bosses do what CEOs do. And so we'll continue watching on that one. The Supreme Court is expected to address challenges involving the administration's birthright citizenship order. Could become the most significant constitutional case of the year. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Temporary protected status programs are continuing to move through the courts. I saw where a few thousand, like I think maybe 16,000 was the number of immigrants from Lebanon, where the Hezbollah is doing their thing, but I believe it was 6 months that the president extended the temporary protected status from there. And then, of course, there's the tariffs. So here's some questions. Who governs America? Is it the president? Is it Congress? Is it federal agencies? District judges, the Supreme Court? So if voters elect a president to implement an agenda, how often should unelected judges be able to stop that agenda before the Supreme Court rules? And whether you support or oppose those rulings, they have real world consequences, and those consequences eventually show up in the economy. Wanted to share a video, a couple of them actually. You may or may not know that after Pam Bondi resigned as the Attorney General, she was diagnosed with cancer. And I just kind of want to blast this woman for what she said. And I'll just tell you up front, it was bad enough that she was fired from her position at her job over what she says. Listen.
It's been reported that Pam Bondi has been diagnosed with throat cancer. I hope it's the worst case of cancer anybody's ever seen. I hope it hurts so bad to simply breathe in oxygen. I hope you suffer for years to
So funny, because we didn't, not once, when Biden's, cancer diagnosis came out, did we wish anything bad on him? No. We prayed and hoped that it went away and he was cancer-free. I've had cancer, okay, and I'm cancer-free. Thank God. You don't wish that on anybody. So when karma comes back to you and you get it tenfold, not my problem.
I'm speechless. What in the world do you say to something that I don't even know how to describe it, much less reply to it? Something as pitiful as wishing that somebody's cancer is the worst and that they go through an extreme amount of pain. Say what you want. Our side doesn't do things like that. I can't say that no one from our side does that, but you can't make me believe that we have very many Christian conservatives that would say something like that about somebody that they disagreed with politically, religiously, anything. Those from another country, those from another race. That's not the way we do things. And the sad thing is, that's not surprising coming from the left. That's how they do things. That is how they operate. And like I said, this lady got fired from a position at a credit union, I believe in Massachusetts. Liberal leaning, well, not leaning, extremely liberal Massachusetts. And still, it was bad enough that she lost her job. Now, there's a situation in Los Angeles, and there is an election, an important election for mayor of Los Angeles. Mayor Bass, her numbers, polling numbers, are not good. Her approval rating is even worse than her polling numbers. Some people are going to vote for her just because she's a Democrat, and it doesn't matter. But there are a lot of people that aren't happy. Is it possible for a Republican, basically an outsider, Spencer Pratt, an actor, is running for mayor of Los Angeles?
11 years. 찍어주십시오. Korean Festival Committee. Please vote for Spencer. Yes, we need him. Spencer Pratt. Oh, there you go. Hey. Spencer Pratt, you will Korea after all. Now it means I gotta vote with you.
Now I decided to vote.
You know what I'm talking about? The answer is yes, when you see it. So, that is a huge question. Not only is it liberal California, but it's extremely liberal LA. And we will see how that turns out. And we'll stay on top of this. I don't know. If it's ever going to happen, this would be a good time for it to happen. And as in with all elections, we should make sure that we're praying about them. You think, well, what does the mayor of LA have to do with us? Well, we're all intertwined. And while it may not seem that what happens in Hollywood or in LA or even in California in general matters, but just always remember this. your tax money goes to California as much as it does to the state that you are in, your federal tax money. Obviously, it is dictated by the size of the state and all, but you're paying taxes for what that mayor of Los Angeles does. And so I say, let's go Spencer Pratt. Oh my. Let's get back to what we've been reading here for our main questions of the night, our main topics of the night. Let me look. So, next topic is the economy, and the markets are remaining strong. I think I read this is the 9th week in a row where the market has shown a gain for the week. Investor confidence remains elevated. Technology and AI continue to drive growth in the market. Energy markets are obviously keeping an eye on what Iran is doing and the developments there. And the inflation return or concerns remain lower than in previous years. So the thing is, most Americans don't measure the economy by stock indexes. They measure it by gas prices, grocery bills, mortgage rates, paychecks, retirement accounts. And I would guess that that's the way you do as well. We feel the pinch when the price of gas goes up. Here locally, I think I seen 350 something this week, which was better by far than the 499 that it got up to a few weeks ago. And let's show what Bill and Tanya said. They would love to see Spencer win. Wouldn't that be something? But the economy, I said with Ronnie earlier in the week when we talked on here, it's the economy, stupid. You know, that's what the elections are going to be based around. I told the story of George H.W. Bush losing after having the highest approval rating in history after the Gulf War was won, and some economy things happened, and he lost his bid for re-election. Americans focus on their finances, but another debate is exposing just how divided the country is. Several entertainers have withdrawn from different Freedom 250 events associated with America's upcoming 250th anniversary celebration. Here's a question. Can patriotism remain nonpartisan? Has celebrating America become politically controversial? And should national celebrations be separated from political personalities? You know, questions like that a lot of times are directed, even though the question doesn't say this, but they're directed towards Donald Trump. When you hear, should national celebrations be separated from political personalities, that's talking about Donald Trump. No doubt in my mind that question is written that way. Can patriotism remain nonpartisan? I don't know, because the left so many times wants to put down patriotism. We see videos of, and I think I intended to download, and I don't think I did, but a woman, I believe, running for Congress in California turns her back to the flag when the national anthem is playing, or when the Pledge of Allegiance has been being stated out loud, being spoken. Thank you, dear. We have this thing. We help each other out when we're searching for words. And see, I have an excuse for doing it. She had a stroke. I haven't had a stroke, and I still struggle to look for words sometimes. So we've gotten rather good at helping each other out. It's a good thing. Some people think it's putting words in each other's mouth, and that's not the case. So it's a national celebration, and I know there are a lot of people that think it's being overblown because Trump is proud of that. He's doing that. He's putting his name on many different things. And so many conservatives see the withdrawals as evidence that public expressions of patriotism are increasingly treated differently depending on who is involved. And I think that's accurate. It depends on who's involved. But the opposing view of that is artists have the right to choose which events they support and may wish to avoid political controversy. My question there would be, why did you accept in the first place? There are very well-known people that have backed out. Always some kind of controversy going with people that don't even necessarily align with President Trump, but the quarterback for the New York Giants, his last name is Dart, and he introduced Trump at some type of event. The left has massacred that young man for daring to be in Trump's neighborhood, in Trump's circle, even appearing with Trump. And the good thing is, quarterback Dart has stood up for himself and his right to choose who he supports and who he doesn't support. He had a teammate that came out in one of the social medias and pretty well slammed him. But in turn, many conservatives slammed that person. Think back. There was a quarterback a few years ago. Let's see. He played for the San Francisco 49ers, and he thought that taking a knee was a good thing. Oh, Colin Kaepernick. He took the liberal side. He took the non-patriotic side. He took the side of ticking off most every veteran that has served, that it was still living at that point in time, and those that are still living that remember it. So what's the difference? Oh, the difference is that it was a conservative and it was Donald Trump that there was the issue with. Can Americans unite around the founding ideals of the nation? That's not going to be what brings us together. God is what's going to bring us together. Only thing that is truly going to bring us together. Some people probably think that when Trump leaves office, it'll get better. There'll be less Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, but conservatives and liberals, Christians and non-Christians, are so far apart that just because Trump is not sitting in the Oval Office isn't going to heal our nation. There's no person being in place or not in place that is going to heal our nation. It's going to take coming together, and there are no indications at all that we're going to come together for the good of the United States of America, when a huge portion of this country thinks that being white, that being patriotic, that being a male, all those different things are bad. How can that be bad? How can that be bad? So we've looked at peace requiring wisdom and authority, requiring accountability, freedom requiring responsibility, and patriotism, which I say this on such a regular basis. Patriotism does not replace faith, but faith should shape how we exercise our citizenship. It's okay to be patriotic. It really is. For all of you that think differently, why is being patriotic bad? You can't tell me a good reason. You might have reasons, but I'm going to tell you that they're not good reasons. I'm going to tell you this too. Amy showed me a picture not too long ago that was posted by a family member, and it was a cross that had a swastika intertwined in the cross, and said something like, this is what fascism looks like, and that's the way it will be brought in, with a flag and a cross. I'm friends with that person on Facebook. I don't like that person. I can just tell you, I don't like that person.
Not many people do.
Certainly not anybody of the conservative nature, because he is very outspoken with his liberal agenda.
Crap.
Yeah, yeah, Amy's getting worked up. Liberal crap is what she said. And I'm just going to block him. I don't need to see a cross that has a swastika intertwined. Actually, the swastika is more prevalent in the picture than the cross, because it just stands out. You know.
We're taking a short break, but don't go anywhere. Ed and Ronnie will be right back in just a few seconds. Thank you so much for supporting Red, White, and True. Did you know that your interactions with us on social media are vital to making sure that we continue to grow our audience? Please follow us on all major social media platforms, especially our Facebook page, so we can continue to share Christ through current events and more here on this live stream. Okay, just a little bit longer to make sure that you go grab your coffee, soda, or whatever you want, so we can continue with today's live stream. All right? Are you ready? Here we go. Here again are Ed and Ronnie.
I think the buffering is done, so it looks like both of the places I'm watching, I'm at least not too far behind on the lag. I'm going to go over and look at some stories that I put on X. I like to post original things, but I also like to repost things from other people. It helps me with things that I want to cover on the show, and I'm looking at some of the things that we have already talked, but I wanted to discuss even more. This post talks about Los Angeles citizens, you have two things to do to save your city. If you're so inclined, pray for Spencer Pratt and his family. Vote for him in the primary, then general elections. He is fighting against a powerful and corrupt political machine, and these elections have to be too big to rig written on it. Again, we mentioned about the controversies of the Freedom 250, and Donald Trump is making some comments on Truth Social. I understand artists are getting the yips having to do with their performance on Wednesday. So I am thinking about bringing the number one attraction anywhere in the world, the man who gets much larger audiences than Elvis in his prime, and he does so without a guitar, the man who loves our country more than anyone else, and the man who some say is the greatest president in the history, the GOAT, Donald J. Trump, to take the place of these highly paid third-rate artists and give a major speech rallying the country forward like I have done ever since being president. 2 years ago, the United States was dead. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I don't want so-called artists that get paid far too much money who aren't happy. I only want to be surrounded by happy people, smart people, successful people, and people that know how to win. So by copy of this truth, I am ordering my representatives to look at the feasibility of doing an America is Back rally on Wednesday in Washington, D.C. Same time, same location, only great patriots invited, and will be a wild and beautiful celebration of America. So controversy continues. U.S. Central Command posted 5 hours ago, the U.S. Disabled a non-compliant vessel in the Gulf of Oman to prevent a blockade violation. Disabled means that they have done something to disable that vessel. Many times it is firing into the engine room, different things like that. The U.S. forces operating in the Gulf enforced blockade measures by disabling a Gambia-flagged maritime vessel attempting to sail toward an Iranian port on May the 29th, which was yesterday. There is a Senate candidate in the state of Texas. This man is a nut, but he has decent poll numbers. He's a nut that says things, well, let's just read. Franklin Graham commented on James Tallarico, and Franklin says Texas Democrat Senate candidate James Tallarico couldn't be more wrong. The Bible is not silent on abortion, as he claims. It's an absolute lie. God commands us, you shall not murder. Abortion is taking a life. It is murder. The Word of God tells us that we are created in the image of God and consistently underscores the value of human life. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. In 2021, this same Democratic candidate opposed a bill to ban men from women's sports, saying that God is non-binary. God is non-binary. See, I can't even say the words about that topic. Franklin finishes with, don't be deceived by wicked politicians spouting lies like this. This man is potentially the worst Senate candidate that I have ever seen. And there have been some really, really bad ones. He is blasphemous, as in what he just said that we were talking about, but many, many other things. And we would have a serious problem if he were to um, be elected. Of course, Paxton, who beat Cornyn in the primary this past week, is who he'll be running against. And Republicans need to make sure that they band together, because there is the Cornyn group and there is the Paxton group, and they are very different as far as Republicans would go. And boy, we just need to make sure that that man, James Tallarico, does not get a seat in the United States Senate. Um, Acting Attorney General Blanche, a reporter asked him this question. I just want to make sure I understand, the reporter says. You're alleging that the Southern Poverty Law Center was paying the leaders of KKK and other groups. We covered this when the first accusation came out, and Blanche replied, I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. So, yeah, lots of things going on in the legal side. And I'm going to finish with a story here. The person that posted this said, this is what the older generations should try and do more often. And the picture of the person that made the post and the name are blotted out. You can't see, but it doesn't matter whether you can see or not see. He posted, I sold my old Honda to a teenager last month for $2,000. It was all he had saved from working at a pizza shop. A week later, he called me sounding like he was about to cry. The starter had died. I know it was as is, he said, but do you know a cheap mechanic? I didn't give him a phone number. I told him to bring it back to the man's house. I spent Saturday morning in my driveway and I showed him how to install it, being the starter. When we were done, I gave him $200 of his money back. What's this for? He asked. I told him it's a good luck rebate. Use it for gas and insurance. I don't need $200. I need to know that a kid's first experience with adulthood isn't getting kicked while he is down. Isn't that a story worth repeating? Now, personally, I couldn't do what this man did because I probably couldn't even find the starter on a car, much less replace it. But there are things that I can do. There are things that you can do. There are things that God wants us to do, and there are things that God expects us to do as Christians and conservatives. We should be doing the right thing. We should look for opportunities. We had a discussion at Bible study this week about people who stand on the street corners and hold signs up begging for money. And we told a story that we had read about a man standing on a street corner, and it was actually a pastor who offered him a bottle of water. Some people in here know who that would be, just based on the offer a bottle of water. But that's what this pastor did. The man said that guy over there, he gave me $20. And the other guy over there, he gave me 10. And I've got a whole truckload of water. I don't want your water. What would you say in response to that? This pastor said, you need to get a job. Is that rude? I think it was reality. I think it was rude for the man not to accept the bottle of water. I think it's rude to stand on a street corner and beg people and make people feel guilty when many times the people that are doing that are making lots of money by making other people feel guilty. I think we should help people that need help, but I think you need to learn what discernment is. And one of the ways of helping people when you don't have the knowledge to use in with your discernment is to help people in different ways other than handing them money. Well, that's where I was going with that. When you hand them the money, are you giving them money for drugs, for alcohol, any other kind of vice they might have? You don't know. And there is a way of looking at that is you doing what's right by helping someone. And if they don't use it properly, then that's on them. And that is true. They will have to answer for that. But that doesn't relieve you from the enabling part. That doesn't relieve you of being made to feel guilty when there are people who actually need the help and that will use the help to be appreciative of what you do. Just throw that in for free. Didn't have that in my plans anywhere, but came up in Bible study, and I thought it was a good topic to come with here. Let me look one more place and see what is trending on X. Mostly sports. Of course, it's the weekend. So I look up because my phone is up there and I can hear in my ear, get a text. And the last one just said from Donald Trump. I just got a text from Donald Trump. Amy. Ooh. I don't see anything standing out in a big way in what's currently trending. Let me.
John playing lunch with you?
Yeah, we're going out for lunch.
Are you?
Let me read this real quick. Title is Young American Men Lead in Religiosity for First Time in 25 Years. A Gallup poll from 24-25 surveys of over 4,000 adults found 42% of young men now view religion as very important, up from 28% compared to a steady 29% for young women. This creates a 13-point gender gap, with young men also slightly ahead in weekly service attendance and religious affiliation. Gallup links much of the rise to young men's Republican leanings, while voices like influencer Bryce Crawford see it as men seeking real purpose amid cultural changes. Now, let me just remind you, that is X that this is on, and there are just as many liberals, if not more, on X. So where it says rise, much of the rise can be attributed to young men's Republican leanings. That's not just Fox News or someone like that saying that. very interesting on that topic. Dr. Oz is leading the Medicaid fraud crackdown in Ohio and in Minnesota. And I mentioned earlier about the quarterback from the Giants named Dart. And I mentioned that one of his teammates had come out and talked against him. It looks like, and this is trending right now. Let me read the whole thing. On May 22nd, New York Giants quarterback Jackson Dart introduced President Trump at a rally in New York, prompting edge rusher Abdul Carter to question it online the next day. Both 2025 first-round picks addressed teammates in a meeting, spoke to reporters Friday with prepared statements stressing their beliefs and close bond, and committed to moving forward amid organized team activities. Veteran Jameis Winston noted that back home, supporters of all sides unite for football, while Coach John Harbaugh had known Dart's plans and saw no issue with it. The locker room now focuses on run game, pass rush, and winning. So actually, the president had made a post on Truth Social about it. He said to Jackson Dart, "Thank you, Jackson. It was great being with you. I know you're taking some heat from the radical left lunatics who are jealous of you, me, and everyone who surrounds us. But I also know that your jersey also went to #1 and you're making millions of dollars. So you are a winner. They are all losers. I'll see you in the White House, President DJT." Oh, the fun things in life. And that is the case many times where it's controversial on paper, but then when it comes to putting money where the mouth is, many times the conservatives are putting their money where the mouth is. And while liberals want to put the young man down, apparently conservatives went out and bought his jersey and put the money where they wanted it. And that's the case on many, many things when it comes to liberals. They do a lot of talking. They make conservatives and Christians and patriots and patriotic people feel bad about being American. That they should be doing this and that and something else. And when you look at it, they ain't doing squat. So stand up for what you believe. If you're a Christian, speak out, be bold. If you're conservative, hold your conservative values. Even when fellow conservatives start to lean toward the middle or even embrace things that the left is looking at, be bold. Be what a conservative or a Christian conservative is. Christian first, then conservative. And with that, we are going to call it a night. Church tomorrow, Old Union at 10 o'clock. It's Kids Sunday. They take care of everything. And then tomorrow night, Amy gets to be at the Father's house for a Sunday night service. She's taking tomorrow off. She's got a few days she's got to get rid of before her retirement takes effect. And so we're looking forward to her being at church. Bible study on Thursday, 6:30, right here, 1417 Pearl Street. We have a great time. Would love to have you with us. You will be part of a wonderful group of Christians that love the Lord, love each other,
Love to eat.
love to eat, and study the Bible. So God bless each and every one of you. Let me get over to the music. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of that as a closing. And I am going to play our opening video because I know sometimes people don't get in time to hear that. And so this is new. This is what we use to open the show. And until we see you again, go out and do the right thing.
Yeah. Ed and Ronnie. Red, white, and true, baby. Listen up. Ed leans back in his John Deere cap. Says I don't chase clicks, I just chase facts. Got a Bible by the mic, small town on his back. Reads every line before he hits that track. Ronnie in the booth with a notepad full. Cross on his chain, hard, humble, but full. We ain't here to judge, just talk what's real. Taste every word before we serve that meal. Red, white, and true. Stand on what we do. Gotta taste your words before you say 'em. 'Cause the truth cuts plain when you lay it. Red, white, and true. We pray on what we choose. If you don't line up with his view, we don't spread it. Red, white, and true. Rolling that feed, everybody want flame. Pointing at a headline, never read a whole page. It says slow down, son, check that source. Every tongue got power. Pick your course. Ronnie takes a breath, says a quiet prayer. Lord, guard my mouth, let me keep it fair. We talk faith, talk flash, talk the hard news too. But we weigh each word like it's aimed at you. Hey, hey, red, white, and true. Stand on what we do. Gotta taste your word before you say 'em. 'Cause the truth cuts clean when you lay it. Red, white, and true. We pray on what we choose. If it don't line up with his view, we don't spread it. Red, white, and true. We ain't perfect, just forgive it. Trying to walk it out, not just talk opinion. You can disagree, pull up a seat, that's